Alright, Dan. Yeah, I need a stiff one. Been having a bit of a rough time out there. Yes, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. So what shall it be? Give me a dry martini, man. A little classy. Yeah, ooh, that's fancy. Yeah, I'd actually prefer it stirred and not shaken, but whatever. Here you go. You take a sip from the delicate glass covered in slight frost. The ice-cold drink creates a refreshing initial impression as the bitterness of the gin kicks you with its liquor taste. Quickly, vermouth in the drink takes over, however, as its sweetness becomes more dominant in the aftertaste. The drink is doing a fine balancing act between being a dry martini and wet martini. Just a little bit more vermouth, and you couldn't call the drink dry anymore with good conscience. Not that that's a complaint. The drink really is quite remarkable, wet or dry. On your second sip, you notice some of the finer nuances of the drink. The mild aftertaste of saline from the olives. And is that lemon zest you taste? Before you know it, the small glass is empty, and all you have left of the drink are the warm memories. You've finished the drink. You've had quite a few drinks already. Remember, life is the best drug. Even has the heaviest hangover and all. Hey, I do not have a problem. I can stop anytime I want. And welcome back to Let's Play Fear and Hunger 2, Termina. I've taken the liberty of returning to the bar just to get a quick drink from Dan and top off everyone. And here is my party for the rest of the game. Osa is going to be our mage, casting Black Orb to do a ton of damage. Abella, I'm going to eventually teach her Healing Whispers so she can be an off healer. And otherwise, she's just going to be one of our offensive heavy hitters. She's still pretty good with Wrench Toss, so I'm keeping Pipe Wrenches on her. But we are, by the end of this video, going to have a weapon that's just going to focus more on damage. And Wrench Toss is going to be going the way of the dinosaur. And finally, Black Kalev. I've taken the liberty of having Marina carve Almer's sigil into his face, which Almer's sigil gives you plus 15% damage resistance to all physical types of damage, as well as plus 3 defense, which remember, non-gear boosts to your defense give you a flat percentage reduction equal to the number of defense gains, so he also has an additional 3% reduction to incoming damage, so not really great. As you can see, his stats are quite awful. I more or less have Black Kalev here just for flavor, and if he dies, he dies. I do not care about rewinding the game to get him back. And yeah, that's more or less it. This is the group you're going to be seeing for the rest of the game, assuming Black Kalev actually survives it. If he does not, then Osa is going to be summoning blood golems for us, and that's where we're leaving off as far as that goes. Now is the time to head to the church and place those effigies we've been collecting at the altar, so I'll just take the liberty of cutting out the backtracking and meet you there. Okay, so here's a very, very annoying mechanic involving Black Kalev that I just ran into. I believe I mentioned this, but when you walk through an area that has grass, occasionally he'll stop to graze, and to get him back into your party, you can either feed him a carrot, or you just have to leave and come back later, and eventually he will be done grazing, and he will rejoin you. Also, very annoyingly, he rearranged my party. Alright, well, since I'm here anyway, before we actually drop off the effigies, we never actually used the asymmetrical circle, the one that wasn't already drawn over with the rare symbol in the basement of the church, and this one is one of the few that actually has something worthwhile you could get from using Venushka's sigil on it. Well, okay, there is some decently worthwhile stuff using Venushka, I just don't find the opportunity cost. Since I'm likely not going to be needing another Sylvian sigil, why don't we just draw this down and see what it does for us? Besides, it gives me a chance to demonstrate it in a non-B-side video. But yes, drawing Venushka's sigil causes a tree to sprout up. In this case, we can climb up this tree and get access to a new section of the church. As you can see, it puts us by this ladder right here. And climbing up into here, we can drop down into this hole. And remember that sword that we saw earlier? This puts us right next to it. Now, this sword, it's an ornament crucifix, the Sabbath. This sword is pretty unique. It's not actually that much stronger than weapons you can get normally, only by like a couple attack points, but it does otherworldly damage in addition to slash damage, which actually makes it pretty effective against a very large number of things you can fight in the game, as quite a few things are weak to otherworldly damage. One thing we have to be wary of when coming down here is that there is no choice but to just drop down, and hopefully you haven't dropped down a ton previously, because you might potentially break your legs in that situation. Cause a little bit of damage to everyone, but I am not overly concerned with it. Now that we are here, we can finally place down our effigies. Of course, to the left is the fellatio of mankind, so we just put down our fellatio effigy. In the center is the martyr pedestal, so let's just put down our martyr effigy, and of course, the hunger pedestal to the right, so let's just put down our hunger effigy. There we go. Opens up a secret basement. What do you guys think of this? This path can't lead to anything good, can it? Osa doesn't have anything to say. And Black Kalev, he does not really ever say anything. Yeah, he just gets rather annoyed with us, should we look at him. So this area is kind of interesting. We've got multiple levers we can pull to open up these gates, and we can take distinct paths. I'm going to take this left path here. On this right one, there's some Crimson Fathers, and I don't like fighting Crimson Fathers, so we're just going to ignore it. On this path, on the other hand, there is a priest waiting for us, so once again, we're just going to take the opportunity to disarm him, so to speak, and get my fist back in fighting order. And just kill him. You know what, this is just gonna be a real quick fight, so let's just take this guy down. We've got so much punching power on our side now that he doesn't stand a chance for lasting very long here. And let's see what... Oh, never mind. Black Kalev didn't even get to go. I probably might not have even needed to blast him with the rifle there, but I just want to be safe. Potentially, the rifle could have also affected that, because I do think the rifle lowers the HP of enemies slightly. You can hear the Crimson Fathers trying to attack us. Now, if you've activated the Poe, coming up here, he's going to appear, but this is our opportunity to fight him. Now, I'm not this turn order can be a little buggy in this game, so I'm actually going to have Marco guard. Now, the Poe does not, and also I actually want Abella to unequip her. Or actually, no, let's equip the Sabbath. The Poe does not actually do any real attacks to you. Also, I'm sure you've noticed the imagery with his staff there. Yeah, it's not exactly subtle. The Poe does not attack and do HP damage. On the first turn, he won't do anything. Every turn after that, he will initiate a coin flip attack that will insta-kill you if it connects. Of course, you can just dodge it with guarding, and you'll perform a just guard to avoid it entirely. So this guy's not all that difficult. Your options for defeating him are magic. He is immune to all physical types of damage or unarmed strikes. So Marco can just punch this guy outright because ghosts are not immune to unarmed strikes. Osa, of course, has very potent magic at his disposal, and Abella, we just gave her the Sabbath, so she can also whack this guy for pretty effective damage. Not that he's weak to this stuff, but oh. He has far less HP than I realized. And he's gone. Of course, if you don't want to deal with this guy, you can either lead him back here and just juke him around the table, or you can just back up and leave the area and he'll be gone permanently. So yeah, nothing too worrisome, really. Let me see here. I just want to keep a good stock of how much beer I have, because you can burn through this stuff pretty quickly. I've got the an Eye of Sylvian on Osa, so he should stay... or he'll get a much greater effect from the alcohol restoratives that we use on him. Remember, that accessory increases the effect of all restoratives, including mind ones, by 50%. Here's really random. On this right path is a Pillarman, and he is no issue. I'm just scanning for the pulsating section on his abdomen. It's right here. Man, of course it's the one that's the farthest away from his torso. He'll probably get a little bit of damage in. I gave Black Steel to Osa. At this point, Black Steel actually might just be a little bit stronger than Marco's punching, but not by much, and but not by that much, so I'd rather just wait until we get a weapon that is definitely stronger. And let me see here. You know what, for the first time, let's use up Loving Whispers. Healing spell is not affected by your magic attack stat. I believe it heals from a range of 60 to 90 HP. We got plenty of mind to spare on Marco, since he doesn't do that much casting to begin with, just the occasional mischief of rats. Get some of these supplies here. Hey, convenient, some matches, so light up these candles. Just want to make sure that the effect is actually going through and I don't light them too quickly and miss it. If you want to, you can go back and fight these Crimson Fathers, but again, I do not like fighting Crimson Fathers. So I do want to say that, as far as, like, the main content of this video is, there's not going to be it's going to be over relatively quickly. Also, new enemy. Bellends! Can you spot the imagery with these guys? Yeah, I'll give you a minute to think about it. They can also, at the end of every turn, harden to increase their defense. Should I censor these guys? Well, at least this one just for fun. Why the heck not? Anyway, these guys, like I said, they harden at the end of the turn and increase their physical defense by a ton, but they actually do not have that much torso HP. Their break value is only 800, so we should be able to just focus fire this guy and take him out in the first turn. You definitely don't want to go on the pure offensive if you don't know if you can kill them on the first turn, though. There we go. And I was correct. In fact, Osa just barely, he could have, he was almost capable of just killing them outright there. I've read that these guys have an increased chance of cracking the bone saw when you attempt to saw their heads off, but I haven't really ever noticed that, so take that with a grain of salt, I suppose. There's another one hanging around on the rooftops over there. These guys are much, much more common in Maso mode, to the point where it actually makes backtracking close to impossible. But like I was saying, as far as, like, proper content in this video goes for progressing the game, probably there's only going to be like 30 minutes worth. And the rest of the video is going to be taking care of miscellaneous things that I haven't really addressed or gotten to. And then we will be taking a look at some of the things that will happen if we advance time further. And that part of the video, you can determine it or consider it strictly non-canon to Marco's story, of course. We're just doing that for demonstrative purposes. With that all said and done, let's actually get back to progressing the main story here. We do have a boss fight coming up, so get prepared. Make sure everybody's in good positioning. Osa should be fine. When I say good positioning, I mean good health, really. You see multiple eyes glowing in the darkness above. Curious. Hey, I remember that guy. He was the one who killed the Bobby.
Mataneko Kone Magnificant. That is my name. The last name you hear before heads start to roll. My blood is rushing wild!
This is Rancid the Surgle, and this guy is actually widely disliked by quite a few people who played this game. Prior to version 1.8, this guy was actually a complete non sequitur. Nothing even hinted that he existed in the game, and he just appeared quite literally out of nowhere. As of version 1.8, Orange at least added that little cutscene where he kills the Bobby in front of the church, although he's still kind of out of place. I don't really feel too strongly about him one way or the other. To start this fight, I'm going to have Marco launch a Mischief of Rats in an attempt to take this guy down, or rather stun him. I'm going to have Osa throw some glass shards into his eyes to attempt to blind him, because he's relatively susceptible to blind, and I'm going to have Abella cast Pheromones on Marco to redirect attacks onto him, since Marco has the arm guards. Rancid... crap. Hopefully Mischief of Rats disables both his arms. And there we get to finally see Black Kaleb's attack there. Let me see, is he blinded? Okay, that's all I really cared about accomplishing. So now we can just focus on taking down his arm. We honestly should be able to take it down in like 1 or 2 turns. His arms have very low HP. And this fight is unique in that it will end the moment you disarm him. So yeah, we're already close to just finishing him off already. Okay, a little bit more. We should be able to take him out, though. Very unfortunate that Pheromones missed, so we might see a severed arm coming up here. Let me see. Now let's just try one more time, just in case I don't finish him off here. But yeah, that's some really bad luck I've been having with Pheromones recently. Okay, the fight does end as soon as he loses an arm. You bastard! I don't deal with the likes of you. Oh, what, people who fight to win?
You're not the one I'm after. Who are you?
I see. You're one of those idiots.
You shouldn't meddle with things you don't understand. Humans truly are the pest of this world. The forces of the moon are whacked up because of you lot. The parasites leeching on the moon. That's why there's so much random shit happening everywhere. Doppelgangers replacing missing folk, old deities rising up from their graves, space and time tearing up. The forces are desperately trying to fix the balance because of you knuckleheads. Fine by me. More challengers for me to behead.
Oh, so you're just trying to act smug and superior then?
I'm off. I don't even bother tainting my blade with your foul blood.
And there he goes. But we get a Surgle Spear from the severed hand of the Surgle. And this is the strongest melee weapon in the game in terms of raw attack power, giving a whopping plus 72 attack power. There is a weapon that is stronger than this, because even though it has considerably less attack power, it hits multiple times, but this is indisputably stronger than Marco punching things now, and it's going to be something that we give to him, so yeah, that's what we're going to be using going forward. Let's just light this candle to get this little bit of mine back, and we'll explore the rest here. What do you guys got to say about that giant Ulmer statue? That was one tall statue. A little intimidating, if I'm perfectly honest. The statue is supposed to depict Ulmer? What a bastardized version of him. Black Kalev has got a blank expression on his face. What else is new? I do appreciate his gradual annoyance with us. But yeah, one other thing to note about Black Kalev is that if you try to equip him with anything, you will quickly find out that he cannot equip anything. He is a complete joke party member. He was relatively popular when the game first released. Hey, nice. Because he was an easy-to-recruit party member that you could get on the first day, but people quickly realized just how absolutely terrible his stats are. And after that, most people realized that the asymmetrical circles, given how limited they are in the game, specifically the one in the Woodsman Basement, is just better used on other circles. Here we can get a Soul Devour necklace from this corpse. Yoink. Yeah, even though the circle in the Woodsman's Basement is primed for a rare sigil, you are not forced to use rare symbol on it. You can use whatever the heck you want on it, and pretty much anything is better than rares, since Black Kalev is just so weak. By the way, all those urns just have ashes and bone in them, so don't even bother checking them. Crude lantern. This is the last place where Osa can potentially appear. He'll always be here on day 2 if you have not yet recruited him. If you do see him, there's nothing stopping you from just immediately backing up and leaving and then going to the bunker to recruit him. So long as you do not engage in hostilities with him, you will not have to worry about him becoming unrecruitable. Now, we're actually in front of the tower, and I don't want to check that out just yet. We've got a bunch of other things we want to look at. First, we can return to Central Street here and push this box out of the way. And finally, we have a shortcut leading back to the bookstore and the church, should we want to take it. There's a handful of other things that we want to check out here. First off, to the left of the tower, there's just an absolute ton of boxes for us to search. More pet pills that I'm not gonna use. Speaking of miscellaneous things, I just want to take a look at pet pills in our inventory real quick. And you will see that the game implies that these give you withdrawals if you use them. They also seem to look more like Mentos than pills. But they do not actually give you withdrawal. You can use them all you want and they never will, so not anything you have to concern yourself with. Another bell end over here. No problem at all. Just take him. Hey! Yeah, these guys have a decent chance of giving you Iron Spears, one of the more consistent ways you can get that weapon in this game. But of course, since we've already gotten the Surgle Spear from Rancid the Surgle, it's not really anything that helpful. One thing to note about the Surgle Spear, hey, another death mask. Not that I need it, but you know, it's there. One thing about the Surgle Spear is that even though it's a spear much like the Iron Spear, it's actually a slashing type weapon due to its more halberd-esque blade, so it does not deal pierce damage. Pierce is just a super rare damage type in this game. Still, at this point, not too many things we're going to be fighting are weak to pierce, so it's not a huge deal that it doesn't deal pierce damage. You get the Ring of the Stillblood, something I don't care about at all. Also, did I say the Thorned Ring stopped bleeding in the previous game? It actually stops poison. This ring stops bleeding. Now, this house right here is Donovan's house, and this is actually a pretty important place. There's a few more things for us to grab here, some useless chalk that I don't need. Books seem to be in good and clear order. There's nothing worthwhile here. Sad. There are erratic scribblings on the paper. Sacrificial circle, done. Yeah, there's all these papers scattered about, and quite a few of these you can actually read. There are erratic scribblings on the paper. The king? What about this one? In my dreams, I've seen the towers, the hollow husks of the endless city, those who patiently wait for their king to return. This one? No. Yeah, not all of these are readable, but a good chunk of them are, so just keep interacting with papers on the ground, and after a long night, the dawn finally arrives, inviting us to the promised land. What about over here? Time is running out. I need the book. I need to leave, soon, before it's too late. Too late. I saw the dream. Return of the King. What about this one? Return of... Okay, it's the same thing. Alright, so that's more or less everything we can read here. I'll just take the light blue vial, take this yellow vial. What do you guys got to say about this? This house belongs to Donovan Hugo, you say? You don't say. He's a known occultist. A bit too eager with some of his theories, if you ask me. But regardless of that, he's a noteworthy figure when it comes to matters of otherworldly. A bold color choice. Deep blue is not for everyone. Painting your bedroom blue is a surefire way to kill passion. These things matter. Thanks, Abella. And Black Kalev is just being himself. But yes, Donovan Hugo was actually the priest, or the owner of the orphanage that we killed. Yeah, I don't even know what to identify that. And this is his home. There's a couple of notable things here. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? So first off, there's the last perfection circle in the game over there, and we're just going to draw Almer's symbol on it in a moment. Let's just grab this stuff, because it's a little hard to grab. Let's see here. Scribblings in blood. You do not recognize the language. So, I don't know if Osa can read that, actually. I haven't checked that out. Okay, let's just draw the Almer symbol here. And now that we've created multiple blood portals, if we want to, we can warp back to the Church of Almer instantly. Honestly, backtracking, if you know what you're doing, you don't have to do too much of it in this game. And it's not particularly lengthy either, so I honestly wouldn't ever really recommend drawing blood portals, especially on Masso mode. It's just not that helpful. Over here's an interesting shelf that's a bit of a callback to the first game. The stand has many empty scrolls gathering dust. Why hoard empty scrolls? That is a question you ponder. Empty scrolls in the first game are pretty infamously the most broken item in the entire game. They allow you to type in commands that let you get any item or any skill in the game, and they are extremely potent in hard mode, where they allow you to bypass certain tough challenges when it comes to getting the S endings. Are these papers readable? Yes. The sulfur sun appears in text frequently, but I do not think that sun is referred in the carvings. A sun that blazes from underground doesn't match with the passages. Interesting. The sun. The replica is near perfect. What replica? The carvings depict people joined together under the sun, and detailed stone carvings fill the wall. Carvings look fairly recent, despite mimicking an older style. Interesting. Now, you've probably noticed the thing in the center of the room. A testage table stands before you. And unlike with the one in the orphanage, this one is not broken. Macabre sculptures hold a stone tablet with ritualistic symbols. Symbols look familiar. You feel like you've seen them in dreams. Alright, I better start feeding people. We've got plenty of food at this point, so I may as well just go nuts on keeping people topped off. Got so many mushroom stews and goulashes and various other things to use. But now we can actually use the Hexen in the real world if we so desire. I'm going to quickly teach Healing Whispers to Abella, so now we've got multi-targeting healing. Healing Whispers has the same mind cost as Loving Whispers, but it's just a tad weaker. Let's see, we could learn spells from Venushka now, but neither of them are that great, honestly, so I don't really care to. Let me see, do I want to learn Attack Plus or anything? Is there anything else I really want to learn? Not particularly. I do want to point out this skill here, Inverse Crown of Thorns. This is a joke skill that just insta-kills you if you use it, so yeah, never bother learning that one. Actually, for something I'm going to do later in the video, I do want to learn Reveal Aura. Reveal Aura reveals the location of contestants to you under certain circumstances. We'll detail those circumstances once we get closer to the end of this video. With that all said and done, let's move on and get out of Donovan's house. We don't have anything else we need to do here. Let's head into this alleyway here. The other... Oh, wait. Hold on. I gotta satisfy my hoarding. Gotta get bone saws and everything. Okay. Let's go up this alleyway, because there's more supplies to get here. But this area connects to the museum. Nice. Another mushroom stew. More food to feed everybody. We only have to contend with fear, no hunger to be worried about here. Heading into the museum. Hey, it's the butler from the mayor's banner. Ah, young master, we meet again. Welcome to the Grand Masquerade. We are celebrating the end of times, the the Festival of Termina. I'm sure you're aware of the festival by now, too. But alas, we are not forever young, are we, my master? I understand that time is money, and money is nigh. If I'm not mistaken, you're waiting for the bells to ring, am I right? But before that happens, I would have liked to introduce you to some of my closest acquaintances. But I cannot seem to remember where they've gone. They must still be at the ball somewhere. Well, in case you run into them, tell them I sent you. The ones I talk about are the Red Devil, the Sun Priestess, and the Happy Mask Salesman, of course. If you've played Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, you've probably noticed more than a couple references to that game in this game. I'm sure you will recognize them. What is this, a depiction of Almer? The sign reads, "The exhibition on show here in Bohemia National Museum dives deep into various religious beliefs around the world. Almer, the Ascended One, is a great example on how different these perspectives can really be when examining them through the lens of different cultures. In Europa, Almer is often depicted as a male with Caucasian facial features, a bald head, and a muscular body. In the Eastern Sanctuaries, Almer is often described according to his earlier depictions when he was still just a mortal. In these images, he's often thinner than his Western counterpart and sports longer hair, close to how he was described before ascending and losing all his bodily hair. Naturally, his facial features often depict him as a native to the Eastern Sanctuaries, too. The Western depictions highlight his godly stature, whereas in the Eastern Sanctuaries, he's more humanized. Interesting. Now, as the butler implied, we can try talking to some of these people here, but the person does not seem to react to your presence in any way. No answer. Let's take a closer look at him. The person behind the mask seems to be in the middle of the conversation. These people are nodding and moving their dry lips in sync with each other, yet there are no words to be heard. It's almost as if they were left on autopilot. Maybe there once was an actual masquerade here, and the people were left idle for whatever reason. You can see scorched skin under the mask. The eyes are glassy and dry. The whole frame looks weakened, almost as these people have been standing here for an eternity. Yeah, so most of these people are just automatons going on loop with their conversations and don't have anything to say. However, the three individuals that the butler mentioned will actually have a specific bit of dialogue that hints to a puzzle in this area. Also, I've got so much rifle ammo. There's a lot of things to search in this area, so be sure to check out all of these, hey, what the heck is this thing? I don't know what the deal with this thing is, but you can't interact with it at all. So yes, there's a lot of things to interact with, and there's some unique equipment that we can get here, and some unique accessories. Let me see, just light this one up too. Okay. Yeah, this place is pretty dark, and your mind will be draining pretty constantly here, so be wary of that. I don't remember exactly where the... Okay, I think these are a couple of people we can talk to. 35 minutes. 25 until the next hour. 35. The person seems to be in a trance of some kind, just repeating the same words over and over again. Excuse me. 35 minutes. 25 until the next hour. 35. This is a hint to a puzzle in this area. I'll just grab that oil real quick. What about you, lady? Are you sure it's not 10 minutes? The masked person seems to be in a trance of some kind, just repeating the same words over and over again. Are you sure it's not 10 minutes? The person seems to be in a trance. Alright, so that's two of them, so pay attention to those times that they mention. Also, try to remember the clocks that we've been seeing around town. Now, over here, it's Pocket Cat! It's been a while since we've seen him. Oh, old sport. Fancy seeing you here as well. I hope you're enjoying the ball. Surely you are. It's something, to say the least. Ain't it so, ain't it so? People are strange when you're a stranger. If you want a break from the sea of party people, luckily there are plenty of distractions to examine. I can't help but wander to this lovely building and admire the works of art they've gathered here. They're truly remarkable pieces here. Art falls into two categories. No, not the art, my bad. Artists fall into two categories. There are the ones who see something taking place in the world. Maybe it's wrongdoings of their fellow pedestrians. Maybe it's abuse of power by those sitting on top of this pyramid scheme. Whatever it is, it feeds their inspiration and creativity. They desperately want to put their own spin on it. It must be very spontaneous, I imagine. Painting a picture in an inspired frenzy, or composing a piece of music that beats in sync with the world. I call these people extroverted artists. Then there are the other half of the poor sods, the ones who dwell in their own thoughts and insight. They want to paint a picture of their inner world, maybe in hopes that someone else would understand them a little bit better, or maybe to connect with a few like-minded individuals. Maybe there's an artist who wanted to pick the picture of times as well, but only if the event taking place would strike a chord with the monologue they are having with the world. I call these people introverted artists. Both sound selfish in their own right. The extroverted artists who benefit from the sufferings of others, while introverted artists, on the other hand, sound very self-centered and only wanting to talk about themselves. Now that I think about it, there might be a third kind as well. My favorite kind, actually. Way to flip-flop, Pocket Cat. Authors who don't even have a clear picture in mind when they start the creative process. Let the story write itself. Let the brushstrokes dictate the direction of the story instead of trying to force their own will on it. Such chaotic process can lead to unexplored directions. Inspiration can be a chaotic process, don't you think? Say, old sport, the one who dreams all this, the dreamer buried deep underground, which type do you think she is? You know what? I agree with you. I let my bias shine through and you followed on it. Still, I think you might be right there, my friend. But enough about that. Are you here to do business, perhaps? This is what I have to offer. Quite a nice collection, even if I say so myself. So we only have 4 contestant heads, but that allows us to get a Book of Enlightenment, so let's just take one. And let's just back out there. We've already gotten all the Bibles in the game and all the crafting books, so there's nothing here to buy from Pocket Cat. Walk around and mingle a little. You never know what you might learn and who you might meet. Maybe if you get lucky, well, you get lucky and you don't have to leave here alone. Oh. But there's a little bit more you can talk to Pocket Cat about. Have you met anyone interesting? I'm impressed by the stamina of these party people. They've been going at it for days now. They do not lie when they told the party like there is no tomorrow. Just who are you exactly? Oh my, you let me ramble on like that without introducing myself? I'm Pocket Cat, the wandering head salesman. Lovely to meet you. Anything else you can say for us here? The rich and noble of Bohemia gathered here. It's a real posh party. I was worried that I was a little underdressed when I arrived here. Tell me it isn't so, my friend. Your clothes look fabulous. You're not just saying that? Well, I do feel fabulous, but I'll let you in on a secret. These pants of mine are way too tight. Too tight where it matters the most, if you get my drift. Wink, wink. Well, we'll just leave Pocket Cat to that. Now, there's quite a bit to explore in this museum. One more person that we have to talk to, although I don't remember offhand what they actually look like. Also, Pose will randomly spawn in here. Let me just, Oh, hey, I found him. Masked person seems to be in a trance, just repeating the same words over and over again. Well, that was lucky. Right. A triangle inside a triangle. That is the last hint we need. Alright, so that's pretty handy right there, and convenient. What a moment of serendipity, eh? But that's all there is to be said about that, so let me see here. Yeah, my mind's getting a little low. I would like to... I am going to give Osa a beer, actually, since he's already got the Eye of Sylvian on. May as well just top him off there. I'm going to see if I can hold off on restoring my mind here until we return to Dan and get another drink. Blue vial, glass vial. Here we get fluted arm pieces. This is a very unique accessory, the only guaranteed source of limb protection in the game. It protects your arms from being delimbed, but also it can be crafted with several other armor pieces into a piece of armor that gives you full limb protection. There's the Poe again. One of the pieces is located elsewhere. I'll just leave that guy. When you leave this area, they'll just despawn permanently, so you don't have to worry about them at that point. Since we're in this area, though, let's solve that puzzle. Over here is a grandfather clock. And let me see. This at a 35. So let me see. Well, first off, we can switch between the two, or the several... The 2-hour... Yeah, let me back up. We can switch between the hour hand and the minute hand, and there's also this little double thing on a group of symbols. So we got a triangle inside a triangle. Then we've got, oops, sorry. We've got 35 minutes, I believe they said. And then we can move it to here. And this roughly correlates to the time we've also been seeing, though the guy in the party does indicate that it needs to be between an hour and 2 hours. But yeah, that's the solution to that puzzle, and that allows us to access the final dungeon of the game. We've got a few things left to do, though, so we're not going to check that out at the moment, just keeping a track of my mind there. Let's continue on. There's a couple more things that we want to grab in here before we get out of here. There's also something I need to grab again in Donovan's house that I forgot to get, but it's not a huge deal. We can just swing back through it. Don't have any more what is it, matches to use. Another Poe will spawn here, so now we've got 3 wandering around the place. We'll just juke around him, don't need to fight this guy again. And let's see if I can find the other remaining accessories and equipment we can get here. This place actually endlessly loops on itself, so you will eventually just double back around the same way you came if you just keep going in one direction. And unfortunately my stamina ran out. Yeah, I always get a little bit lost here. If I end up bumbling around for too long, I'll cut out some of the wandering until I find what I'm looking for. Which is not very helpful if you actually want a guide on how to get through this place, but somebody did post about... Okay, I actually found what I was looking for. That was my plan, was to just set up a comedic bit of convenience there. So, you take the fluted breastplate, and we have 3 pieces of equipment to choose from here, but there's an alarm system of some kind. Over here is the Galleon Greatsword, one of the strongest weapons in the game, though it's weaker than the Circle Spear. I don't have any desire to take it, because it's not that much stronger than Black Spear, and we actually will be able to get a second Circle Spear. Over here is a Yagatsu Amulet, which is a bit of a... Yagatsu is a minor deity from Edo. This amulet increases your critical hit rate. Over here is the Chok Chok, which boosts your... It's an accessory that boosts your magic attack by... 20 points, and so it'll combine with La Danse Macabre to give another 100 points to Osa. So, if we take this... Okay, so it's triggered to an alarm system, but we take it and then quickly move... I screwed it up. I accidentally hit the dash button instead of the confirm button. Not that it really matters. I wasn't going to use the Yagatsu Amulet anyway, but you can take 2 of those items if you're quick enough. I was not quick enough because I hit the wrong button, so we ended up getting just the Chok Chok, but the Chok Chok is good. As you can see, when your mind starts to lower, you get various messages there to try and freak you out, but we don't have to worry too much about that. Well, it's just your party members, Marco. Don't be so paranoid. Oh, hey, I'm stuck in sprinting. There we go. Now that we've done everything that we need to do in the museum, let's get out of here. We're going to return to Donovan's house real quick just to get the thing that I missed. So let's just take care of that. And now that we're in this area, we can take care of something that... was set up earlier that we haven't really been able to do anything with until now. First order of business, though, let's get into Donovan's house, and let's check right over around here, I believe. Yes! The floor tiles feel loose. There's a book buried here. You find the Skin Bible, Venushka Unedited. Huh, that's interesting. An unedited Bible. One thing to note about this Bible, too, is that it functions just like the regular Venushka Bible. So if you haven't somehow gotten that one yet, this one will also allow you to use Venushka's sigil. But let's take a look at this. Already got a different depiction of Venushka. He already looks much more like a pine cone. The seed of Grogaroth that had been fermenting for an eon finally reached its maturity, and thus Sylvian pushed a whole pine cone out of her loose abyss and named her child Ninush. The cycle of destruction and creation is seen in its purest form in nature. Thus it comes as no surprise that the very god of nature, Venushka, is an offspring of the 2 older gods, Grogaroth and Sylvian. Like the nature of mankind, the nature of Venushka too can change, from fiery raging volcanoes to serene grasslands where a gentle wind lulls one to sleep. The ancient tribes of men used to live in symbiosis with the nature, with its cycles of destruction and creation, but people grew greedy and hostile towards the land they settled and ravaged the nature to give room for their own civilizations. As people grew greedy and hostile, so too did Venushka. A long war was waged to determine who was to become master and who was the slave. To everyone's surprise, at least to my surprise, this resulted in the demise of Venushka. Hey, this wasn't in the original Bible. For all intents, supposed to be intents and purposes, the nature is dead. Venushka is died by the hands of men. From this grievous realization comes the name of the god, Venushka, meaning guilt, the great guilt of mankind. This guilt will surely eat away the known world in time. For now, the faint traces of the god still linger in Venushka's totems, deities that desperately search for the murdered god in vain. Maybe these totems are the manifestation of human guilt. Once they understand the events that took place, mankind will surely feel their grief too. For now, it's best to exploit nature while we still can. The Mark of Venushka raises the otherworldly offense of its wielder. The text includes the sigil of Venushka and the instructions on how to use it. So yes, Venushka is dead. He waged a war with industrialism, and he actually lost it. And I guess it makes sense. Gods derive their power from belief in them, so if the people don't believe and they're up against their own antithesis, I guess it only makes sense that he would eventually fall to that. So, Due to this, Venushka is only persisting, or nature itself is only persisting, due to people's belief in the remnants of it, and the Vatican has censored Venushka's skin Bible to make sure it is not known to the general public that he is dead. Then again, old gods cannot truly die. The god of the depths, for instance, his power was supplanted, or rather, he was absorbed, subsumed, by the god of fear and hunger. So he still exists in a manner of speaking. Okay, that message, I was wondering, like, did my mind lower somehow? But no, that message is just another paranoid message. We're going to be able to drink in a bit, Marco, do not worry. But yeah, the god of the depths was just absorbed into the god of fear and hunger, so we could presume that maybe, just maybe, Venushka will become a part of something bigger than himself, or something new at the very least. The Great Debate of Perheval, held in June 1919 in the Grand Palace of Perheval in Bohemia, the two morning sides of the Great War. Interesting little memorial there. Anything we can do with the statue? The statue of the Morning One. Morning One must be considered a saint around these parts. Some more lore. But here's that gate that we couldn't smash down earlier. We can now unlock it, and we have an access way back to Shopping Street. I'm just gonna leave that guy about his own business. And with that said and done, we can go booze it up and get rid of some of Marco's anxiety. Marco, you're just being paranoid. Do not worry. We're about to be able to drink the pain away. Of course, our party will disperse at this point. Yeah. By the way, when I checked the basement to recruit Abella, Karin has wandered down there, so she's just hanging out there now. Yeah, Black Level, you're rejoining us. Alright, so let's get Abella back in here. Okay, let's get Black Clev. And up top, we want to get Osa, and then we just want to take a drink and purge some of this lost mind. Alright, Dan. I know I've been hitting it pretty hard, but yeah, hey, it's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. Alright, give me a Cosmopolitan. Nice one, coming right up. Oh, Abella's weak from hunger. Don't worry, we'll be able to feed you all soon. Here you go. The blend of the cocktail looks immaculate. You have no doubts that the taste will be just as good as you raise the delicate glass on your lips. The freshly squeezed lime presents the dominating sour flavor, but is balanced masterfully with the sweetness that comes from the triple sec. The liquor gives the drink a sweet orange flavor. A slight hint of cranberry juice in the background keeps your taste buds guessing as the vodka blends everything together by diluting the most powerful flavors. The taste is fruity, refreshing, and a perfect blend of sweet and sour. After a few more sips, you'd say that the orange-flavored triple sec is the unsung hero of the cocktail. Citrus punch really takes the drink to another level. The Cosmo truly is a light drink, dangerously so. You can only tell where the large amount of vodka in the drink from the slight fuzz in your head as you finish the drink, or there was a large amount. You finish the drink. And, you know what, just, I just need a little refreshment to, keep my throat from being too parched. Something non-alcoholic, please. Wise choice. Let's see what I can come up with. You don't have to shake whatever you're getting for me, Dan. I think he likes to do that just to look cool. That seems in character, honestly. Here you go, a glass of milk. You drink the milk. It's just milk. Doesn't exactly inspire the poet inside you. You finish the drink. I like that one. Alright, so let's actually feed everybody here. We're all starving. Like I said, it feels like the hunger decays a lot faster when you have party members. Everybody will be a little low on HP as they recover from the hunger, but I can just have Abella top us off there with Healing Whispers. And that's more or less everything we need to do, so I'm just going to go to various points in Perheval and show off some miscellaneous things that I have not yet had a chance to show off, and then we're going to start advancing time to check out some special events, so be back in a second. Okay, for our first order of business, something that I've been meaning to check out for the longest time is this little shop here. We opened it up on the first day, but this guy was unwilling to sell to us then. But if we talk to him any day after the first, man appears to be holding something that resembles a baby, but looks like a doll on a closer look. Other than that, he doesn't seem to be that off-putting. What you gonna be? And we've got plenty of shillings, so this guy sells a variety of supplies. In particular, he has a renewable source of green herbs in case you ran out. He also sells meat pies if you're starving, dried meat so you can make your own meat pies if you so desire. You can sell a bunch of matches, cloth fragments, all pretty useful stuff. Note that even though it says 9mm bullets, it's actually a singular bullet. I would not recommend buying those. And he sells blue vials. We don't need any of this stuff, but it's something that you can do if you're low on supplies, and it's easy to run out on your first playthrough. Okay, so that's all I want to say about this. To the next thing we need to do. Alright, so here we are again in the Maiden Woods by Tunnel 7, and remember that Icky Turso guy we saw? Well, if you come here after fighting Rancid the Circle, or maybe not. Okay. Clearly that happens later, so we'll just come back later. But Rancid the Circle will appear here after a certain point in time, so just keep this in mind. Let me get to the next thing I wanted to show off. So I've been meaning to show this off. I didn't bother collecting the remaining rust-colored pearls since I really don't care about anything I can get from this guy anymore. But let's sacrifice the portrait of the young man. You put the offering on the center of the circle. The air cools down and becomes thicker. It feels heavy just to breathe. But when you sacrifice one of these portraits, the radiating one appears. Embrace your flaws. Embrace the perfection. Embrace the distortion. What's that you got there? Very well. Maybe this is not a total waste of time. 5 rust-colored pearls is all you got. What do you want to trade? And he will trade you a variety of accessories. Oh, the Ring of Wraiths is only 4 rust-colored pearls. I didn't realize that. But he has some pretty interesting things here. You can get another Leechmonger ring, though sadly it does not stack. Ditto for the Ring of Wraiths. We could get another Yugatsu amulet, since I failed to get the one in the museum, and perhaps more interestingly than that is a weapon, the Mauler. Now, I believe you can only get enough rust-colored pearls in the game to purchase the Mauler if either you draw Rare's symbol in the mayor's house, or you steal from Needles, which is not exactly easy to accomplish since only Marco can do that by the first time you encounter him. Or, if you leave the janitor alive and enter the Golden Gates realm, you can encounter him there and steal some rust-colored pearls from him there. We may as well trade for something, get a Ring of Wraiths. And that's all there is. I believe there's 4 portraits in the game that you can use. If you got any more pearls, let me know. If not, then don't bother. Bye. But, let me see. What was I gonna say? Yeah, there's 4 portraits in the game that you can use, but I imagine you could get everything you want from this guy in at least 2, so it's not that useful, but it is there. Alright, continuing on. Alright, so here we are in Tunnel 5. I didn't really check this out as, Marco. If you forget, the tunnel number 5 is in the shack located in the slums, but there is something that we could check out here. Remember by the dock area in the city when we got that film reel? Well, there just so happens to be a projector here. Yeah, let's give it a shot. And just play the film. Get a unique little video here of slow exposure. To what, though? Looks like this is creating a Bobby, though. Well, that was, disconcerting. And then the film finishes. Also, there's a chest in here if you want to get it. Just a little bonus thing you can check out. Nothing too terribly interesting. As of the current version of the game, there are no other film reels to check out here, so that's really all you can see from this. Who knows if Orange plans to add more. With that taken care of, I'm going to meet you back at the bar. We'll see if I can figure out when the other thing I wanted to show off happens. You know, I was just heading back to the bar when I had a big doy moment. I forgot to actually check what was going on at the tower, so let's actually go to this place and take a look at it. Oh, geez. What do you guys think of this? Looks like this is where the chaos of the town peaked. It's an impressive sight. This is a scene straight out of my worst nightmares. How can anyone be capable of something like this? It's good to see different perspectives on that kind of thing, right? Anyways, yeah, Blacklev is just being himself. Heading forward. Something about the tower in front of you feels wrong. Your primal instincts tell you to run away. You feel dizzy being this close to the monolith. Your sight becomes blurry, and you can hear the blood rush in your veins. Alright, so you do not want to touch that door if you have anybody in your party. Bad things will happen to good people. Now, I was hoping if I came here that there might be a scene that plays out, but unfortunately it looks like we passed the time for it to happen. Oh hey, we got a soul stone from some boxes. That is actually very rare. If you get here early enough, you will come across a scene where the Bremen soldier Pav attacks the Kaiser. Maybe in the Abella playthrough, I'll be able to show that scene off, since I will be getting here a lot earlier than I will be in this playthrough. But that's just something I wanted to make note of, and I just wanted to bring attention to the tower right now. I'm returning to the bar now. Alright, so here we are back at the bar. Let's let everyone disperse. And we are going to be making a save very quickly. But we're not going to be resting to make this save. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to head on over to the Statue of Fear and Hunger, and we're going to use one of these for the first time, since I've not had an opportunity to do so. But it works like just like the Book of Enlightenment. You make your save, and then it is rendered inoperable. Remember that if you're playing on easy mode, you'll actually be able to use these statues up to 3 times, which is pretty nice. Now that that's taken care of, we're just going to start advancing time, and for the purposes of this playthrough, what's about to happen we can consider non-canon. In the actual story, Marco will have gone to the final dungeon to finish the game off, but for the purpose of demonstration, we're going to start resting, and we're going to advance it to day 3. Do note that upon reaching day 3, one of the game's 3 endings is rendered inaccessible to you. Granted, that ending is already inaccessible to us, since some of the people involved in the contest, namely Tanaka, have died due to reasons independent of us. And we're just going to leave, advance it to night, but we don't want to do anything at night. So let's just rest for a bit, and rest on the top bunk, and advance it to day 3, because a couple of events will open up on day 3. Okay. That's all we wanted to do here. Let's leave again. And now we're going to see the final day. Gods that dance in the night. It's important to keep track of who's actually still in the bar once you hit day 3. Want to tag along? We're going to take Karin, because Karin has an event exclusive to her as a party member once you reach day 3. Let's see. Hey, where'd Dan go? That's strange. Where could he have possibly gone? Curious. One other thing to note, and I'm not going to travel in this direction just because it's a huge waste of time to do so, but if you return to the train, Olivia will also be gone. Now, I'm going to head to the museum first, and that will allow us to trigger the event that I've been talking about with Karin, so let's just quickly cut there. Alright, so here we are, just outside of the museum. Now, if Dan has left the bar like he did so, and we go to the museum... Hey, it's Pocket Cat. Something about him seems a little different. Oh, hello there. Fancy seeing you here. Oh my, how the party at the museum is getting wild. Feels like everyone's enjoying the ball while they still can. Let the champagne flow until the morning hours. Embrace the decadence and let your true self loose. What's going on here? The Festival of Termina is hitting its peak. This is the last farewell party. This wheelchair? Just took Miss Olivia to the party. She's feeling a bit left out. As much as I'd love to stay here and chat, I have a job to do. I still need to invite some other people, so I'll see you later, old chap. Bye. Yeah, something seems a little different about Pocket Cat. I'm not sure what, though. What did he mean that he has taken Olivia to the party, though? Will we see her anywhere? Well, let's just look around and see if we can't find her. Also, the poes that were spread throughout this area are gone now, so we don't have to worry about them anymore. There's Pocket Cat, and he managed to get back quick. But is it just me? Or does his pants look a little different? Very, very strange. Where have I seen that before? Now, let me see if I can find where Olivia is supposed to be. Oh, whoa. Ah, geez, what the heck is that? That ain't Olivia. Well, let's get out of here. I don't feel like dealing with that thing at the moment. But, yeah, on day 3, and this happens, I believe, if you haven't recruited Dan, or if you've recruited Dan or Olivia, but not both of them, that event with Pocket Cat will play out. I don't know the exact trigger for it, but it happens on day 3. So as long as you don't have to go to day 3, you won't have to worry about that. But if you go back to the train, Olivia will be gone now, so we couldn't recruit her even if we had a wheelchair for her. Now that we've gotten to that, we want to head back to the shortcut back to Shopping Street. If you have Karin in your party on day 3, a event will occur once you pass through that area. I've read that you need to have Karin in your party to interact with August when he attacks the Half Cocoon in West Prehevel, but on my playthrough where I tested this, that did not seem to be the case, and she didn't have any dialogue with him, although I do believe she has some unique dialogue if you're playing as her. That could just be my faulty memory, but hey, there he is! This guy! You're not running away this time! Karin runs off. That looks like August. Karin has suddenly magically produced a pistol. Not one step or I'll shoot! And you know perfectly well that I'm not bluffing. Didn't we already go through this, miss? I'm not the one you're after. Cut the crap and spill the beans! The other day, you ran after those Bremen soldiers in the old town. You noticed anything missing from your pockets? Ah, I see. I can understand how that might raise suspicions. It did more than merely raise suspicions. You've been spying on everyone who arrived here on that day. I've got a full journal proving that. Detailed analysis on everyone's psyche and all. How do you explain this shit? My patience is running out. It's the last day of this godforsaken event. I don't have time for this. Start talking. You know what's going on here. Talk! I really don't appreciate being interrogated at gunpoint. Lower the pistol and we can talk this through. Like hell I will. Karin is looking really tense and focused on August. What's going on here? Just trust me on this one. Oh, whoa. She took him right the heck out. I had to do it. You saw it yourself. He was reaching out for his weapon. He would have shot me instead. I don't want to agitate her any more than she is. Right? Besides, he was plotting something. I can prove it. I have his journal. I hid it in the jazz club down the road. Let's see it. You'll see. I hid it under the piano. So, an alternative way that event can play out, I believe if you don't say anything, August will quickly pull out his bow and shoot Karin, and you need to have a light blue vial to heal Karin, or else she'll die. 6 silver shillings. Weird. Well, let's just take his head. He's not going to be needing it anymore. Silver shillings are an alternative currency in the game that currently do not do anything. I'm presuming they're meant for a future update, but as far as the game is currently, silver shillings do not do anything. You can't accomplish anything by using them. And we'll just maneuver around this guy. Now let's return to the bar and see this journal that Karin mentioned. She seems pretty confident that it has damning contents that will completely exonerate her of the murder of August. Well, I guess she was acting partially in self-defense. Alright, entering the bar, one of the few times somebody won't disperse from our party. The journal, it's in the back, under the piano. Alright, let's check this thing out, see what you got for us. Don't mind us, Levi. You search under the piano, but there's nothing there. What do you mean, nothing? Let me see. But I hid it here. I swear I did. Someone else must have taken it. But you believe me, right? I didn't shoot that man for no reason. Even I'm not that cold. I believe you, Karin. Don't worry. Good. Even if I'm a journalist, I don't make bullshit like this up. We could have taken the journal. And I noticed Levi's in a slightly different position. I'm fine. This is my hometown. I came back from the front. I didn't really have anywhere else to go. I guess I don't even have this place anymore. So he doesn't really have that much else to say. Now that that's done, let me get Karin out of the party real quick. And we're actually going to advance time once again. Did she go back to the bar? Nah, she went back to the speakeasy. Kind of a shame that they always permanently go to the speakeasy afterwards. Alright, so we're going to rest one more time. To the top bunk. And, unfortunately... Oh, Pav is also dead. Interesting. I wonder what could have happened to him. 8 of you still remain. Well, that's neither here nor there. Hey, where'd Karin go? That's strange. Abella, I'm gonna need your help here. We gotta find Karin. Okay. And let's go grab Osa also. Looks like everybody else is still here, but where could Karin have gone? That's worrying. Because when Dan disappeared, so did Olivia, and we saw that strange creature in the museum. That's strange. What's that? What's that light on the map there? Curiouser and curiouser. The only thing that's changed is that that new monster was in there. Alright, so we got a couple things to check out, so I'm just going to get out of the bar, and hopefully the thing I was waiting for has happened. Alright, here it is. So on day 3, when you return to Icky Turso, he's been decapitated. Ah, it's you. A new challenger? No, just you again. This puny little critter right here posed absolutely no challenge. I'm looking for the champion of these lands. My bloodthirst is yet to be satiated. So how about it? A duel to the death? There is no time to escape. The last man standing is the champion of Perheval. Fine, if you're in such a hurry to die. Ooh, very spirited indeed. Let's do this! Now, very unfortunately for Rancid, round 2! See the spear? It's the very same that beheaded that half-god over there. What do you reckon it'll do to soft human skin? Now, very unfortunately for Rancid... Oh, never mind. Sometimes when you get into this rematch with him, he'll have the same ailments that were afflicted on him the last time you fought him. But that does not seem to be the case this time. So we're just going to stun his arm and take it out, because he actually basically cannot do anything once he is disarmed. He does not have tackle or anything. So we're just going to focus on taking out that arm. Don't want Abella to attempt to... What was it? Actually, just... Okay, yeah. For some reason, I was like... I got paranoid that I didn't actually teach her Healing Whispers. We're going to use Black Smog to blind him. And this should take out his arm. Oh, wow. Oh, and he didn't get blinded. How unusual. Let's re-equip Abella here. Let's see, give her the pipe wrench. And we're going to have Osa just start working the torso with Black Orb. This should deal some pretty impressive damage to him. One thing to note about Rancid, and now he's gonna get really mad. Fight like a man! Only a coward tries to disarm their opponent. Well, actually, somebody who's smart tries to disarm their opponent. And yeah, like I said, he basically can't do anything now, so we can just run roughshod on him. His head HP is like 7,000, and it's more than double the break value of his torso, which is only 3,000 HP, so it's actually heavily ill-advised to attempt to go for the head on this guy. You'd waste so much time just taking out his legs to make it vulnerable, and he's down. I don't know how you can do it, but there is a way to get fight Rancid with his mask broken. I don't know if you have to deal like a certain amount of head damage to him. We can get his Circle Spear, and we can behead him. There we go. Got the Rancid head as a trophy. Now we can equip Abella with a Circle Spear, and she can be extra powerful. But unfortunately, I did not realize that this event did not occur until day 3, so we're not actually going to get this in the playthrough where we actually complete the game, or rather the video where we actually complete the game. So sadly, Abella's going to be stuck with slightly weaker weapons, but I should still be able to find something good for her. With that taken care of, let's get on to the next decorum. Hey, there's Karin. What's she doing out here? They started calling us vultures because we'd always circle around the battlefields looking for a scoop. But I'd call us more like Valkyries, immortalizing the people who fought in war and are now gone. That's what I keep telling myself, at least. But yeah, it looks like Karin has left our party and will not leave this area. Strange. Wonder what has gotten into her, though. But yes, now for the rest of the game, we actually cannot recruit Karin. She's just going to hang out here. There is one more thing that'll happen with her, though, if we advance time. We'll check that out in a bit, just because it leads to something semi-unique that we're not going to see otherwise. There's one last thing I want to check out in the Mayor's Manor. If I'm able to do what I want to do, I'll show it. If not, we're just going to cut back to the tower, actually, and do something there. Alright, just barely. With enough damage, and I obtained this by getting the Chok on and the Death Mask on Osa, we can smash through that door in the Mayor's basement. This will allow us to get access to this item right here, the Fluted Fald. This combines with the other pieces of fluted equipment that we've gotten to create the Fluted Armor. And the Fluted Armor... Let me see if I can find it. It's towards the top. It's not only one of the strongest pieces of armor in the game, giving you huge protection against every physical element, and some light fire protection. Oh, sorry. It also gives you complete protection against limb loss, so this is a very, very potent piece of armor, but as you can see, it lowers your agility by 5, so if you want to take full advantage of this, this is probably where all those pet pills I've been collecting will come in handy. I'm going to put this on Marco right now and get rid of his arm guards. Let me see here. I could give him a Small Things Amulet. I just want to be mindful of what I'm going to be doing later in the video. Yeah, you know what, let's just give him the Small Things Amulet for now. I can go with, if you're willing to use your pet pills, you can go with more interesting loadouts. That's all I just wanted to do here. We're going to go to the bar now, and I'm going to drop off Osa, but I'm going to re-recruit Abella, and we're going to go to the tower, so I'll meet you there. Alright, so here we are at the tower, and, well, there's Pav. Wonder what could have possibly killed him, though. Gaping slash wound. Interesting. Well, we get a whole load of bullets from him, and he's not going to be needing his head anymore, so let's just take that off of him. Now, I said that we should not interact with the tower door if we have any party members. Why is that? A large stone door stands tall before you. This tower, this door, make the hair at the back of my neck stand up. Let's just stay away, eh? Ah, you're just being paranoid. Your heart beats loud as a drum just by being so close to the tower. Adrenaline is rushing through you. You cannot explain this feeling. You are at the same time both terrified and tempted to touch the intricate ornaments on the ancient stone slab door. If you attempt to do this with a party member, or a companion in your party, isn't this tower the same as in the dream? What is this feeling? What the? Abella? Yes, if you interact with this door with anybody in your party, they will turn into a monster, much like how Abella has been reduced into a monster like this. Ugh, what the heck is that sound? That move, Doomsday Trumpet, if it hits you twice, it will explode your head and kill you, so don't let that happen. I think, actually, my helmet might be giving me immunity to that, because it didn't give me the message. Fortunately, Chognart does not have that much HP, so I could easily just slap her down. But we got the Caressing Soul from a monster Abella. I'm wondering, and we saw Samari turn into a monster also, and the mayor gave us a soul when we killed him, so yeah, you've probably already figured out what's going on here, but some of those monsters that we came across, the ones that give you souls, that is the fate of all contestants in the Termina Festival, should they dally too much or give into despair. This is an affliction known as the Moon Scorch, and it turns you into a hideous monster. Quite the power boost over what these people are normally capable of, but of course, not much in the way of sapience is left. Now that we have Abella's Caressing Soul, we actually just want to take a moment to learn the skills that we get from that, or rather, one specific skill. So, of course, there's Wrench Toss, Short Circuit, Trapcraft, which is pretty useless by now, but the big one, the one that everybody wants, Weapon Craft. And there is one specific reason everybody really wants to have this skill. Go into our crafting menu and craft weapons. we can craft the Meat Grinder. This weapon is obscene. The Meat Grinder looks pretty humble, just based on the numbers. Gives a considerably lower attack boost than the Circle Spear, only 35. But the Meat Grinder hits 3 times, doing way more damage in the process than the Circle Spear, especially due to the variance on the damage in hits, and it has a 100% chance of inflicting the bleed ailment if the enemy is not immune to it. This is ridiculously effective at killing a large number of enemies in the game. Super good. Best weapon in the game. And if you do not want her as a party member, or if she's served her purpose for you, then from all practical standpoints, you should absolutely kill Abella and take weapon craft, because meat grinders are just ridiculous. And as of the current version of the game, which increased the number of bench grinders you could get, getting one off of the mob, you can now wield multiple meat grinders in your party, so it's pretty ridiculous. Additionally, if you decide to engage Abella in combat and steal from her, you can also steal a bench grinder from her, potentially making 3 meat grinders. So yeah, not much in the game could survive being whacked with 3 of those in a single turn, so it's pretty obscene if you go for it. But man, I'm gonna have to take a rest and just try to get my mind off of this. I can't believe this happened. So, we go to sleep, and we just have to think about how things could have gone this way. We had to kill Abella. She turned into a monster. Perkeel, don't remind me. I just needed a moment to collect my thoughts here. At least you're still with me, Black Clev. Let's grab Osa and, I don't know, maybe Levi. It's been a while since we've gotten him into some action, and... Where's Osa? Matter of fact, where's Marina? Where's Levi? Where is everybody? Uh-oh. I don't like the looks of those lights. I can only imagine. Well... Yes, everybody on the night of day 3 becomes afflicted with Moonscorch. They are removed from your safe areas, and you have no choice but to kill them to progress the game if you want to finish it. Now, I'm not going to check out all of the Moonscorch locations, because we will be seeing them when I get to Masso mode, where everybody is Moonscorched from the start of the game, but there is one Moonscorched contestant we're not going to be able to see, so we're just going to check them out real quick, so I'll see you in a bit. Alright, so here we are back at the lake. Let's see if Karin's still here. You guys hear something? I could have sworn I heard, like, the flapping of wings or something. Strange. Wait, what's that? What is that? There's a boat here now. It's a boat that's in decent shape. Nothing more to it. Could have put this here. Well, let's step on board and tail that thing. And nothing but the lonely rowing of Marco on the lake. A thick layer of fog prevents you from seeing anything in the horizon. You try your best to navigate forward regardless. An ominous little island makes itself known by peeking behind the veil of fog. You decide to navigate towards it. This is an area you can only access on the 3rd night of, or the night of day 3, Dabel's Island. Otherwise, you will never be able to come here. There is not much to see, though. The only reason to come here is because if you go all the way to the opposite shoreline of where you enter from, something seems to be approaching. The Valkyrie is carrying the deceased warriors on its back. Here is a boss fight, the Valkyrie. As you can see, she has a variety of bell ends along her back, and she has her claws to attack with. This fight works very simply. Every turn, the bell ends will prepare to attack you, and then the next turn, they will launch an attack that is strength is determined on how many bell ends are alive. Additionally, at the end of each turn, the Valkyrie will attack you with its available claws. We don't have to worry too much about any of this, because we're more than likely going to be able to finish this fight in 2 turns, because as you can see, the bleed status effect is ridiculously effective. It's actually one of the strongest DOTs in the game in your hands. Against the player, it's one of the weakest. When used on the enemy, though, it is one of the strongest by far, just behind severe poisoning. And fortunately, most of these Moonscorched contestants, and this one, of course, is Karin, are vulnerable to bleed. One thing to note about the Moonscorched contestants, all of them trigger teratophobia, so it can make some of them very, very, very dicey to fight. So be mindful of that, and it is one of the reasons why, if you're playing Maso mode, I'd highly recommend resetting until you do not have teratophobia. Or if you do roll it, you do not want to deal with that ailment. Alright, we're gonna guard here and just let death rain upon us, or not, because the bleed will just tick, and kill her before those attacks go off. We absorb the Endless Soul. The Valkyrie has nothing of value. We could take her head, but you know what? She used to be a friend of ours. Incidentally, I did not take the Moonscorched Abella's head, because that is another enemy that has a 100% chance of cracking your bone saw, should you attempt to saw the head off of it. One thing to note about Moonscorched contestants is while some of them you can saw the heads off of, a lot of them you actually cannot, so it prevents you from getting heads from a monster that you'd feel less bad about killing. Many of the contestant heads in this game, you have to get them from actually killing the contestants personally. Off the top of my head, I know Caligura's Moonscorch doesn't let you get a head, Abella's does not, Marco's does not, Levi's does not. I'm trying to remember if there's another one that doesn't. Quite a few of them do not allow you to get heads from them. One thing to note is that August and Pav do not have a Moonscorched form. In fact, if you've not triggered a certain event with August, or if Tanaka is dead, I think anyway, he will be dead this night. He will have committed suicide in the woods. I actually don't know where his corpse is, though, so I'm not going to bother looking for him. With that all said and done, though, I'm going to answer a question that I'm sure has been burning since we've started this game. What happens should we allow time to run out? Should we go past the night of the third day? Obviously, you get a game over, but what does that entail? Well, let's just hop into bed and see what happens. Disregard Caligura's corpse. Hey, Perkeel. You don't mind that I'm here, right? Oh, wait. August already died, so I couldn't see his corpse even if I wanted to. Whoopsie. Man, I'm already forgetting what happened in this video. 6 of you still remain. How may I best aid you in your quest? Oh, you can't really aid me at all. What the heck? Oh, okay. I thought he had a specific line of dialogue. You're feeling horrible. Your body aches like never before. Something is moving inside you. Something is primal to get out of your howl shell. Your body, it's bursting at the seams! And yes, should you run out of time, then the fate of Moonscorch awaits you also. That is what happens when you run out of time in Fear and Hunger Termina. Now, next time, we're actually poised to see the ending of the game, specifically Ending A. There are 3 endings to obtain in this game. Ending C is obtained by personally killing all contestants in the game before Day 3 occurs. So the latest you can get it is Day 2 night, and you need to have every soul in the game. This can be trickier to accomplish than you'd think, because there are certain ways characters can die, such as Tanaka, that is not by your hand, denying you their soul and preventing you from getting the ending. And some characters, like Caligura, have very, very, very limited opportunities to actually run across them, so it can be a little difficult to actually find them and kill them. August, in particular, only has 1 chance I know of offhand that allows you to kill him before Day 3. The ending B just simply requires that all contestants be dead and you reach the tower and fight the final boss that awaits you there. There are 2 slight variants to it, and this just affects what the final boss will entail. The final boss will come in 2 phases if you do not qualify for Ending C. If you do qualify for Ending C, then you have the exact same final boss as you would if you were going for Ending C. Finally, Ending A requires that we activate all those telectroscopes, solve the clock puzzle in the museum, and then go into the special dungeon that unlocks once we go into that area that the clock puzzle unlocks and have activated all the telectroscopes. That is what we're going to be seeing in the next primary video, but we are also going to set up to see Endings B and Ending C, and we're going to do that as Abella, so look forward to that. That's where we're going to end this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next one, because it's going to be a bit of an ordeal. We have to go around as Abella and kill everybody. Hope to see you then.